Hey everyone, welcome. I'm hoping to extend my love and knowledge to you or maybe someone that you may know of. If you share this with them, uh, hopefully I could help to give strategies and tools to help alleviate and hopefully overcome the experiences of manic episodes and panic attacks, just spiraling in general, um, which is induced by anxiety, depression, traumas, etc. Um, I like to start this video off with the strategies um, to hopefully overcome it um, and to live through it and hopefully overcome it or inspire you to do research or get help or whatever it is that will help you along your journey. And then from there, I like to just touch up on the subject, the solutions based on research and data that I compiled together. So just going off with the experiences with these episodes, just these whirlwinds of thoughts and emotions that could be induced by a person or circumstance, like with the pandemic or employment, um, different situations like that, or relationships, um, or just self-induced based on past traumas. Just having that experience of the thoughts and the emotions that causes the physical effects to kick in, the pacing, the hyperventilating, just being unable to just process. That's the overall term I like to say. Being able to process what's happening, and it's repeatedly happening to you. The first thing to help alleviate that is to just get grounded. Um, the first form of doing that is just breathing at a moderate pace. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. Studies show that 8-second inhales and 8-second exhales are very ideal when practicing um, meditative breathing to help relax when going through these episodes or these experiences. And when you do that, you want to just regulate a nice, easy pace that works for you. Everybody's body is different, so there's no right or wrong way. In breath work, learning breath work and being certified to practice it, I teach my clients to do breaths in the belly, in the chest, and out. And that form of breathing, you induce more oxygen into the body. But if you're just having these physiological effects from these episodes, be careful doing different styles of breathing from yoga-based meditations, because you're gonna still get those aspects. And for me, having severe anxiety back then, I would freak out even more. So if you know yourself, if you know that the tetany or the lightheadedness or the nausea or that numbness in your legs, whatever it is, just have nice, easy paced, one inhale, one exhale, that form of breathing, and focus on that breathing. And as you do this breath, the next key strategy to help with these episodes is to orientate everything around you. Whether you're in a room or you're outside, just orientate everything in your environment. Just get every single thing. And when you do that, it's very sedative to the brain. You're distracting your thoughts. The emotions that you get become thoughts. That's what the brain does. And you sedate yourself to be more relaxed. And you based on experience, you feel tired doing that. Sofa, um, couch, pillow, sofa, salt lamp, bamboo plant, whatever, anything around you. And after you do that, if you're indoors, if you're able to lie down, go ahead and lie down. You know, or if you have a physical condition that impacts that, it's fine. But when you lie down, I'm gonna speak on that first. You're in a flat position where you're just aligned. Your spine is aligned. You have your circulation of your blood flow more evenly um, spread throughout your body. And if you don't believe in energy, if you're a skeptic, I was, or you don't know much about it, or if you don't care for it, the energy also circulates well. It circulates even more as well. That beautiful atomic energy we have in us, that's all around us, that can't be destroyed. We have that energy. That's the essence of us. And when you lie down, that also induces the opposite effect with hormones. When it comes to being in that state, of having that episode, meltdown, we're also creating different stress hormones in our brain. Cortisol is a big known one. But lying down, being in that meditative state where you're focusing on the breathing, you start to release the oxytocin and the endorphins. Obviously, the more air you put in, the more you're going to experience those effects. So if you still feel the numbness, if you're still feeling lightheaded, try not to panic too much, because maybe you're feeding your body oxygen, you're detoxing that emotion, you're lifting the heavy emotions out, and that could be an effect as well. It's definitely a possibility. So try not to panic. If you start to panic when you lie down, go ahead and orientate again, or do another form of exercise of grounding. There's plenty you can find online. That's the beauty of the internet these days. Instead of distractions, you can do a lot of stimuli. You can ask even your main provider for different forms of grounding or stimuli, but one that I know of is just having ice in your hand. It grounds you to a physical experience because you feel the ice in your hand. You have to keep still. You have to keep it there. And as it's melting and it's so cold in your hand, you're sort of distracting yourself. Now, if you're anxious about that, don't do it. Like I said, you can ask your doctor, or you can do research to find more tips. But orientating worked like a charm for me, because I had the rapid thoughts going on, and I was internalizing a lot of grief and stress because of that. But those are my strategies to really create a huge life-changing experience. Those are the keys to get you there while you're in that chaotic, manic state. As far as getting more in depth with the meditation, if you haven't seen my other video, just speaking on mindfulness, it was proven by microbiologists to have physiological effects to one's health. It's a modern practice to this day because of that scientific evidence. And mindfulness is just wonderful. And when you're laying down after you orientate, the goal isn't to just block away everything that's harming you, that's causing you just pain, that inner critic that sucks. Obviously, we have to have boundaries and ways to criticize what we do and our performance in life, but it sucks when it's just out of control and when it's very threatening and horrible and ugly. So the key is not to block out those thoughts. It's the opposite. Is to accept it, to be more acceptable to these thoughts, to be more engaged with them, and more vulnerable. You're not weak for feeling certain things. Um, Take time if you have people around you on your own. Dedicate this for your health. If you have a grounding skill in a video game, if that relaxes you, there's no right or wrong to this. You know your body. Nobody could tell you that. But once you're at that place where you're feeling calm, where you're feeling grounded, and you're not spiraling, go ahead and take a break. Don't argue. Don't try to prove a point. Don't, whatever your situation is that's causing this. Like, you could fill it in for yourself, but just using some examples, like, go ahead and just take a break from that. Serve yourself and just get grounded, lie down, give yourself this time free of distractions, and really just take the time to just analyze your reality. And that leads me to what I spoke on with energy. Um, Reality, I don't like to just use the tags right away of dimensions or consciousness, because it's used a lot, and sometimes in context, the way it's used, it steers people off the wrong way. So I don't want to do that here. I'm going to use the word reality, the term reality. And the way I think of it is like layers, right? And based on what I've seen and researched, just having your mind here at this state, reality is what you perceive. And sometimes with emotions, with triggers, thoughts, sometimes what we perceive is not always a reality. So that's the whole mixture of these episodes, or these depressions that we have, whether we're just physically agitated and tense, or we're just, in the dumps and wonky and whatever you like to describe it. Like, that's the combination of it. It's the reality. It's what we're perceiving in our minds. And when you're doing this meditation, and I'm sure you're aware of DMT. If you don't know DMT, dimethyltryptamine, it's endogenous to our bodies. So we have the component in our brain. That's the third eye. That's the pineal gland. Excuse me. That's people like to exercise that, to see things and all these things. We heard the concepts, but main point is that if we meditate enough, because everybody's body is different. I haven't experienced this, but I definitely experienced the oxytocin, the endorphins with meditative breathing, especially breath work, taking in a lot of air, exercises like that compared to more positional. When you're taking a lot of this oxygen, this air, for a while, your body pulsates because you're taking in oxygen. That's what feeds us, and this energy it gets lifted, and your endorphins, the feel-good hormones get activated. But sometimes, depending on your body, there's been many testimonies across the world of people just seeing colors come to them, and people, and sometimes other beings, shapes, all these things. So the way we perceive things, we cannot judge, or we cannot judge ourselves or others based on what they go through or their experience, because these components that's been scientifically proven exist within us, and therefore we perceive it differently. So doing this exercise, be very acceptable to what it is you're going through and vulnerable to it, but try not to get too clouded by it. Try not to get too lost in the mind. Try to just focus on, the logical wise, that inner wisdom, that wise mind, and then what we call the heart, because it's an organ, but then the heart opens. Once you're vulnerable and you're, crossing off certain things that are not really logical. What triggers you to do things? Maybe not everything is what you grasp it to be. Maybe the stress is sometimes you're inducing it because of certain things from your past. sometimes we don't know things, and that's the brain. That's the beauty of it. It's a lot of things are subconscious. A lot of things we don't know. So that concludes my video. I'd love to talk more about it. I'm just starting my content. I'm just starting my page. So I would love to get more people involved with this, to have streams, talks, just to really get the critical thinking going and the wisdom going, and knowledge, and spread the beauty of this life rather than distract for our own gain. So if you like this video and you appreciate it, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, because I'm doing various different topics, all that regard mental health, behavioral health, and awareness, based off of my life experience and research that I like to do out of pleasure. I send you my love. I hope you're safe. I hope this video helped you. And also, certain things, like this Palo Santo, certain sages, certain lip balms or bodily balms or fragrance, essential oils, wax warmers, whatever it is, a lot of soothing helps with this as well. It helps calm the anxiety, the hyperactive components of it. So try that, and Palo Santo, based on what I explained, it's said to ward the evil spirits and all these different things, right? But to me, in my opinion, what I perceive is that the energy flow, it helps circulate the energy flow in our bodies, because it's anti-inflammatory, it's anti-cancerous. That's what's been proven. So when it releases these energies, then it induces us to feel, euphoric almost. So a lot of things are perceived different ways, and we can't shame anyone for it. So be gentle to others, be gentle to yourself. I send you my love. Thank you for watching, and take care. Thanks.